Good morning to you all. I'd like to present a creation moment this morning entitled The Marvellous Gift of Tongues. And we start with a verse in James chapter 3 verse 5 part A. Even so the tongue is a little member and boasteth great things. The tongue, this magnificent muscle, speaks of God's creative genius and refutes blind evolutionary chance. Whether it's a boneless blob, a 2-foot-long spaghetti noodle, or a ballistic missile, every tongue that God designed beautifully meets the needs of its owner. While we may extol the wonders of a few showy tongues in the animal kingdom, most of us know very little about the variety of tongues out there. We even forget about our own tireless tongues, which work hard daily, manipulating food, forming words, and much more, until chomp, that 1 in a million occasion when the tongue fails to evade the teeth and we cry out painfully, aware of this sensitive organ. Though we might take the tongue for granted, evolutionists give tongues a top tier in the vertebrate origin story. In May 2023, Science published an article titled Tales of the Tongue. Author Elizabeth Panisi claims without tongues, few, if any, terrestrial vertebrates could exist. In the Science article, evolutionary biologist Kurt Schwenk called the variation in vertebrate tongues replete with astonishing examples of almost unbelievable adaptation. Yet in the same Science article, functional morphologist Sam Vassenberg states that the origin of tongues is one of the biggest mysteries in our evolutionary history. Now, while adaptation likely played a role in the vast array of tongues, there's no mystery about the origin of this small member, that's per James 3:5, and its fantastic variety. God is the genius behind the tongue in all its surprising forms and functions. Indeed, the tongue tells of an ingenious, economical creator who designed different body parts to serve more than one function. Some examples in the animal world, of which there are many more, and I'll just give a few here, are number 1, the giraffe, which uses its long tongue not only to reach high leaves, but also reach around its head and clean its ears. Number 2, having no eyelids, geckos use their long tongues as handy windshield wipers to clean and moisten their eyes. And thirdly, bats click their tongues to echolocate, allowing them to fly safely and locate prey in the dark. Though it has a smooth surface, the human tongue is incredibly flexible. Unlike other muscles of the body, the tongue is not connected to a bone at each end, allowing remarkable range of motion. This flexible construction helps us to move food around our mouths and swallow without getting bitten, at least most of the time. In tandem with the tongue's flexibility, the tip of the human tongue is packed with nerves, making it more sensitive to touch than other parts of the body. This sensitivity aids in searching through food for potential dangers, such as tiny bones. It is also versatile, adjusting to all sorts of food textures, from sinewy steak to soft oatmeal to crunchy carrots to juicy broths. The tongue also allows us to enjoy what's on our menu. Tasting food provides motivation to eat. However, delicious food and drinks can add a richness to daily life that goes far beyond our needs. After the fall, taste buds filled an important role of detecting bitter substances that might indicate spoiled food or harmful substances. Over 750 species of bacteria live in your mouth, but don't rush to the nearest mouthwash and tongue scraper. The invisible megalopolis in your mouth, particularly on your tongue, seems to be important to your health. For example, certain bacteria on the tongue help convert nitrates into nitric oxide, which plays an important role in cardiovascular health. Studies show that cleaning your tongue too enthusiastically, specifically using antiseptic mouthwash twice daily, can lead to higher systolic blood pressure in just 1 week. Now, while God gifted many of his creatures with unique uses for their tongues, perhaps the greatest is the gift of speech in humans. Many animals communicate with each other using body language and various sounds like chirps, whistles, or growls. And some birds have thick, nimble tongues that allow them to imitate human speech by manipulating the sounds of their syrinx, which is the voice box. But only humans can carry on complex conversations. Evolutionists just cannot swallow this truth. Rather than believe in a brilliant, all-powerful God who designed land-dwelling, swimming and flying creatures with ballistic, noodle-like, agile and eloquent tongues, each designed to do what it does well, they willfully choose to believe stories of pioneering creatures who ventured onto the land and continued living there, even though they could not even swallow food. So in closing, the tongue didn't shape life on earth, but it is a marvellous feature that sustains all sorts of life. And we close with Psalm 119, verse 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. Thank you for listening.